News out of Indianapolis today, Jonathan Taylor and Nyheim Hines are ruled out for the Colts versus Jaguars game. What does this mean for fantasy? Who's going to step in? I think it's going to be primarily Deon Jackson. Phillip Lindsay also, I think, will be involved. But if we look at what happened in Week 5, Deon Jackson played 58% of snaps. Phillip Lindsay played 38% of snaps. Deon Jackson had more carries, and they both had 4 targets, but Deon Jackson looked like the more dynamic running back. The Indianapolis Colts, their offense is not a high-ceiling one. Matt Ryan has not looked very good and hasn't sustained drives in the way we've seen in the past when he played for the Falcons. But what player is under the radar is Alec Pierce. We saw in Week 5, Alec Pierce played more snaps, and his average depth of target was significantly lower, with Nyheim Hines not in the lineup. So the 2 players to benefit most in fantasy from the lack of Jonathan Taylor and Nyheim Hines, I think, are Deon Jackson and Alec Pierce, because Alec Pierce's route tree is going to change. Matt Ryan is not going to dump it off to Hines. Instead, he's going to be looking for Pierce, who's actually playing a little bit better than Michael Pittman, at least in the targets per route run efficiency metrics over the last few weeks. Alec Pierce, at least 60 receiving yards each of the last 3 healthy weeks that he's played. So look for Pierce to be really involved. Michael Pittman, of course, is going to be leaned on in this Colts offense. I think it's Deon Jackson who's going to get the majority of work. Phillip Lindsay, though, desperation, running back 3-ish, back-end running back 3. And I think Deon Jackson is a high-end running back 3, maybe a running back 2. But that's who I think is going to stand to benefit from Jonathan Taylor and Nyheim Hines being out against the Jacksonville Jaguars. And if you play with defense and special teams, if you weren't already playing the Jacksonville defense, if they're on waivers or if you can somehow trade for them right now, the Indianapolis Colts are already a plus offense to match up defense special teams. We've seen them give up double-digit fantasy points multiple times this year. We already saw that with the Jacksonville Jaguars matchup earlier this season. So pick up and play the Jacksonville Jaguars defense if your league plays with team defense special teams.